So we did really well this week with posting a lot. I was able to get several clips from what we did last week,
Mm-hmm.
but then I kind of died off.
I have
The
a
later part.
tutorial.
Nice.
I don't like it.
Oh, just put it out there. Honestly, just do it. It is what it is. I don't like the stuff that I've been doing either, which is why I haven't been putting much out there because I'm like the edits aren't smooth. The content, I'm like, does anybody care to know this? I don't know. I don't know. But you never know.
I feel like I was rambling.
Yeah.
Going back into my rambling stages. I haven't taught in so long. I just need to teach.
Yeah. I did something and I was like, Tina, your voice, like, why can't you just get your words out? Why do you have these awkward pauses? Why do you say things the way that you do? Yeah, I've been totally in my head with that. But I think we just have to do it. We just have to put it out there, even if it's not great. Something consistency at this point is what our goal is, and then we'll get back into the groove, and it'll be fantastic.
Well, I got one ready.
Yay!
It's coming for you.
What's the topic on it?
ChatGPT.
Oh, okay. I'm about to use ChatGPT for our video today.
Oh my word, what a perfect segue.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it and then go watch my video.
We had a comment the other day on one of our videos that I wanted to make sure you hadn't seen.
So a mean comment.
Nope. It was, remember in the one video that we did where we said we would ask the audience about what your core competencies are? And you said,
commented?
Yes.
Really?
And you said, oh no, please be nice.
No, I didn't know someone commented.
Her core competencies are unifying parties and having a welcoming presence.
Oh, who said that? Unifying parties and having a welcoming presence?
Yes.
So nice.
That is so nice.
Oh, I can't believe she watched that.
I know. And they had to watch far, I think, to get to that point. Hey, but it was nice.
That was so kind.
It was nice.
I know. I'm in my head when I put out my video on whatever day, I'm like, just be nice. Whoever's looking at it, just be nice.
I feel like at this point, if people, for us at this stage, they're either just gonna watch it or not. And honestly, most people don't even watch all of it, which is fine.
Yeah.
So that's basically where we're at right now. Either they engage with it a little bit or they don't engage at all. It's not like we're getting a lot of comments.
Yes. I just get nervous. Yeah. Especially when it's you and I have both had these battles of going back and forth. Is this really something that we can do? And so then after it has been almost a year since
you posted a video.
and it has been a lot of stuff happening in that year. So I'm emotionally, and I just I want to put myself out there for the scrutiny, because the stuff in the past, it's already out there, people have already seen it. Do I want to start it up again?
Right. I think the driving force for me is knowing that when I left teaching before and I went to the other job that I did for a while, and then I went back to teaching again, being out of the environment, not necessarily the teaching environment, but being out of the environment where I used the skills that I had more than just what I needed in a day-to-day job, because that job just didn't require all of the skills across the board.
Yeah.
Then going back into it and trying to freshen up with it again, it took me forever to get back to where I felt like, and honestly, I don't feel like I ever really got fully back to where I think I would have been initially before Microsoft decided to change everything. I think that is a fear in me to become irrelevant.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, that's the driving force for me to say, okay, keep pushing at this. Just do it. I think right now for myself, I'm at the point where I just think, well, people probably already know how to do that. Like literally, they probably already know how to do that.
Right.
But I will say yesterday I had a phone call with somebody, and it was a lady that I was helping for a different my like actual job. And she just stopped, and I realized, you know what? She just doesn't know what to click on next. That's all that it was. Like you have all this frustration and it's this immediate feeling of panic, and it's not the product or whatever. It's not even worth my time or effort because I just don't even know. And I realized like teacher mode immediately set in, and I said, okay, I understand. Let me help you. What kind of phone do you have? iPhone. Okay, perfect. Do you see this button? Yes. Do you see this button and like describing the button? Yes. Okay, click on that button.
Yeah.
Okay, I did it. Okay, now do you see this option? Yeah. And just like hearing the change in tone, hearing the panic kind of leave the voice. Yesterday I was reminded again, even though I get in my head of you don't know any more than the next person, like ChatGPT or Copilot pointing you back to your own resume, in my mind it's like, no, imposter syndrome sets in so big. But in that moment yesterday, the stranger on the phone that I'm just talking through a simple issue, not a big deal for either part. I was able to easily and quickly help her understand what was going on. She was like, oh, so now if I click here, just showing somebody how to set a bookmark on their phone. That's all that I was doing. And it reminded me, and I needed this today. I needed this conversation right now. It reminded me, you guys picked the name that you did on purpose.
Yeah.
And so going back and doing things that are just the basics, don't be afraid to do that. I think that's kind of where I've been at. Like if I do something that's so simple, like in my mind, I have these other people. And if I were to name some of these people, you would know why I have this feeling of constant judgment and constant critique and constant whatever.
Yeah.
And I need to get them out of my head. And I need to remember the people like the lady yesterday.
Right.
Or like my brother called me this week and said, hey, silly question, but can you help me with this? And it wasn't a silly question because it's not anything that he would have ever known how to do.
Right.
But in his mind, he's thinking, I don't want to waste your time asking a question when I probably should know this. And I'm thinking when would he have ever learned this?
Right.
And so to know that you have a position where you can help so many people, to me, like that's the driving force for putting more out there. And I don't know why we're talking about this now, but thank you for whatever you just said that made me like connect all the dots, because it's hard. It's hard to not feel like an imposter.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think we have a place out there. So even if our tutorials aren't necessarily what we think is what everybody needs, like we don't know who that one person is who might need that little bit. It doesn't even have to be the whole video. It could just be a little sliver of it,
right,
that helps them do what they need to do, or just one little bit of extra knowledge. My mom has come to me, and if nobody gets anything out of this besides my mother, which, and I know that there are more people, where she'll say, I actually knew what that meant because I listened to your videos. It's so fun to me to see that. So whatever your video is, I think it's going to be fantastic. I think whatever I can finally, get over this mental block and actually put out there, I think regardless of us thinking, oh, it's already been done a million times, I can't take my spin on it. I've been really down on myself lately about the slowness of my voice. And I feel like this cadence is just so slow. And I keep thinking, Tina, pick it up. The style right now I'm thinking TikTok and stuff. I don't know. I know you don't spend a lot of time on there, but there's this style right now that's really popular where people like speed up their voices where they're talking so fast. It's like they don't even take a break. And so they'll do a voiceover and it's just this constant thing. And there are a few people who have done it and have done it really well. And then there are some people you can tell are trying to get to that level. And then I go back and watch my own videos and I think, why are you pausing so awkwardly? Why do you speak so slowly? And I feel like the older I get, the slower I speak. And then maybe there are people out there who need that slower pace and need it to be spoken differently. I think I do need to work on my phrasing and stuff. That is something, we don't want to just be like, well, that's just how I am. That's how I'll be.
Yeah.
But I do think that there's somebody for everybody out there. And I think that what you're doing and what you're putting out there, I think it will help more people than what you think. And so I think whatever you've done is going to be fantastic.
That is so encouraging.
This was not on the plan at all, and I have tears in my eyes just a little bit.
It's what my heart needed.
You know, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I am going to put this out there lightly edited because I think that there are likely other people who will need to hear something similar. Yeah. Even myself, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's hard because we were talking a little bit ago about our different personalities, and mine is not the vulnerable type at all.
Right.
So, like, I feel so like vulnerable putting myself out there again because it's been, I mean, it's been so long.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, oh, now I am, and I don't get like that at all, but I like am nervous, just like genuinely. And so to even like communicate that, that's also something that I don't do.
I'm so proud of you.
No, thank you, because I needed the feedback.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be great. I just feel like everything's hard. Lately, I feel like we talk about this all the time, but people know that we've recently gone through some major career changes, some life changes, and, you moved across the country. You're in a job that you had never done before at all. That comes with a whole realm of things where you're meeting all new people and it's a new position and all these things. I now work virtually, so I work from home. And, I'm an executive assistant. And the other day I sat and thought, I think I would have been really good at this job when I was in my 20s, but is my brain not quick enough now to keep up with this? Is this something that I've missed my prime of life and this isn't something that I'm good at now? And, I feel like regardless of where you're at, you have these thoughts of inadequacy. And if you are a person who doesn't feel that, like, great for you. And, and I've been looking back this week thinking, man, have I ever been good at anything? Have I ever been good at anything? But going back to that time yesterday, talking with a lady on the phone, in that immediate moment of like switching to teacher mode and saying, okay, in my mind quickly, she's struggling. I know how to help her. Let me tone this down and make it as easy for her as I can. Yeah. And hearing her voice immediately calm, and she was with me and she understood and she was so thankful. Again, this is all just connecting the dots for me in this moment. This is like a therapy session, I think, right now. But it was like, okay, she needed you right now, and you're in the position to be able to help her with that. So, like, that's what it's all about. So, yeah, I've had a lot of moments lately of feelings of inadequacy, feelings of like maybe your dream is too big. And then I look back and I have to say, the Lord has put me right here. Like, I can look back and I can know exactly the Lord's hand in my life to get me to where I'm at right now. And while there are hard days, while there are tough moments and tough seasons of life, and it's difficult, this is where He has me right now. I can confidently look back and say, I know this is exactly where He has me right now. And so to have a bad week, I can, lounge around on the couch all day today like I did, and then pick myself up, put on a little makeup, go sit in front of a camera, meet up with Niki, do the things that we said that we were committing to do, and then move forward with it. So anyway, Niki, you're not alone in your thoughts, I don't think. I know that I sometimes feel that way. And I'm sure that there are other people out there that are likely at points in their life where they're just wondering, what's next? Why did I bite off this? This seems too much. Or maybe, you just have that imposter syndrome. But I do believe that we can be used in the places where we've been put. We just have to be open to it. And it may just be a silly video that we put out there on the internet that will connect with somebody. I looked at some of our analytics for a video on, I can't remember if it was YouTube yesterday. No, I was uploading our podcast Thursday. And I was able to, when I went to the rss.com page that I uploaded, and that pushes to
Okay.
Apple Podcasts, that pushes to iHeartRadio and Pandora and all that stuff. It gave me the analytics for people who have listened to our videos, and there's not a lot. There's not like thousands of people waiting for us to put out the next thing.
What?
But there were some numbers there. I was like, oh, okay. Because I just assume that most people probably know to watch us on YouTube.
Yeah.
And, I've seen the numbers on Spotify. There's just a few. Great.
Yeah.
And it let me, for looking at the analytics, click on it and see where our listeners are. And there were some in other countries that we don't have connection to. And so there are people across the world who are finding the stuff that we're putting out there. Now, whether it's helping them or not, I don't know. And I feel like we're getting better and better and better as we go. I feel like some weeks I think, oh, well, this was fine, but I know that it will continue to get better as we get more comfortable and as we develop our own knowledge base. If I go back and refer to my resume as I should, according to Copilot, and say, you are the authority. What are you talking about?
Yes.
Anyway, it's just so funny to me. But yeah, we're reaching people out there. So that's so fun.
I need to get in on all of these. I haven't looked at the backside of things in a while. Really, because I don't know. I don't look at the backsides of all of it, but there's some encouraging things out there.
Yeah, there
are more often.
I'll honestly, I don't like looking at that stuff. I have thought, if Niki and I ever get to the point where we're actually making money from this,
then maybe I'll take a look at it.
In my mind, my plan has been to, I don't mind making decisions about stuff. I don't mind planning for, content or looking forward to the future. I don't like seeing the numbers of likes and views. Yeah. And I do like seeing comments if they're nice. But we haven't had any not nice ones. So I'm okay with that. But I don't think I could handle the other. But I don't like looking at the analytics of stuff. Yeah. I don't. Because I can get very down if I think that people don't like me.
Right.
And it's not even that I feel like I know that most people won't like me. Like, I understand that. But if I know, that's my assumption going through life.
Like,
but yeah, it's a fun time up in here in the spring. But I don't know. I don't like it. The analytics to me, I know they're important, but I know that I'm not the one to be the one driving the backside of analytics. Like, I don't have the brain for that. I don't have the mental capacity to care enough to learn about all of it to push forward. Yes. To me, if I see the numbers going up, great. If I see the numbers going down, like, that'll take me out for a week. Like, what did I do? What did we do? Did we, so anyway, I know that that's not my place.
Good thing I don't look at them.
Yeah.
The one time I did was in the middle of the summer, I got a notification about one of the videos that I had put out, and it had gotten a ton of views, and I was like, this is so cool. But then I went back and I'm like, how in the world did this video get so many views? It was because somebody who's in charge of something decided to upload it to a Microsoft help tutorial.
Oh.
Yeah, so it got put on that, and ever since it got put on that, the views have consistently stayed. And I'm like, why can't that's another reason. That's great and everything, but that's another reason why I'm so terrified to put something out there. Because I'm like, well, I have one video that's consistently getting views because somebody thought something good was a part of it and put it on a thing. And I'm like, the video I have now, there's no way that it's going to do that. So it's I can't beat what's already out there. So why even try? And then I get so down in the dumps and so in my head. And I know it's all ridiculous, but those are real.
It is. Those are real thoughts and feelings.
Yes,
That's
what goes through
legitimate.
my head. When I'm sitting there editing this video, I'm like, why? Why am I wasting my time? Because I know it's not going to be good.
I will say though, consistency posting, even if they don't get a lot of views initially, that consistency lets the internet know, that lets YouTube, that lets Google know, hey, they're legitimate. They're actually posting like regularly.
Yes.
So even if we do have ones that we're putting out there where they're not being posted to some like grand page where we're getting a lot of views from it, it still is showing that we're showing up.
Right.
So if you think about it that way, it's still pushing us towards our goal of helping other people, even if not a lot of people are seeing what we're putting out right now.
Right. Because, and what I keep telling myself is that, like, that whoever posted it to the Microsoft, whatever, that didn't happen for like 5 months. So it got its normal, like, 40 views when I first posted it. And then like 5 months later, it started getting a lot of views. But then after that, then like I feel like people go to the page.
Right.
And then
they're looking for more.
The rest. Yeah. So then I'm like, oh my goodness. If somebody clicks on that OneNote video and then goes and sees that I haven't posted another video for a year, then I look like a fraud. So then like that's the other driving force. It's like you can't, like you have to go back, like you have to do it. Just post a video. It doesn't have to be like 1 million views. It's never going to be 1 million views. But like 10 would be nice.
10 views.
10 double digits will make me happy. Please just get me 10.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I think whatever you put out there, I think is going to be great.
These are the psychotic things that go in my head when I'm like sitting on my couch editing.
These are legitimate though. And we did not plan this conversation at all.
The complete opposite of what we were planning on talking about.
Exactly. And I'm going to put this out there as a podcast episode. I feel like these are the things that people need to be able to think through and to understand. You know, I hear people say all the time, because I'm on social media way too much. You know, they'll tell people who are content creators. And to me, there's a difference in a content creator and like an influencer. I have no desire in my life to be an influencer. Right. I do have this draw to help people. And if a way that I can do that is through making content and posting it online, to me, I think that is something that I'm interested in trying. And so that's why we're doing what we're doing. And, you know, people will say, well, now you should go get a real job. And right now, like, we have not quit our jobs and we're, you know, expecting this to take care of us. In the future, in the long run, if it ever worked out to where we were able to provide services, I have a whole list in my mind of things that we could do. Niki and I have talked about behind the scenes. You know, if that's the case, and as a business, we're able to provide business services to become our job, great. I would love to do that, you know, but I don't know if that will ever happen. I don't know when it would happen. I don't know. I'm happy with what we're doing right now as far as that goes. But, you know, putting content out there is very difficult. And I know that there are a lot of people who are very curious about doing that. And so having a conversation like this of what are those thoughts and feelings on the other side of putting yourself out there? And we're not even putting ourselves out there in a personal type way. Right. This is all very much behind a technology training idea. Putting yourself out there as an individual of, hey, this is me as an individual person, and this is what I like to do. These are, you know, this is how I like to do my makeup. This is how I like to get dressed, you know, do whatever. To me, that's more of an influencer type. I don't know, but this is like my kitchen and this is how I cook, or this is whatever. Yeah. Like that's really a personal level, and like putting yourself out there for people to be able to critique and judge and all that. So you have to have a thick skin whenever it comes to it. And it's hard. It's very hard.
But I mean, you said this multiple times, like there will be good days and there will be bad days. At the beginning, there's probably going to be more bad days than good days, but it's okay. Like, yeah, it's okay. Just if you have somebody like my partner, if you have somebody that's like genuinely like your friend, or like somebody that you can talk to help you through I mean, again, being so transparent and vulnerable, which I don't do,
Mm-mm.
this past year has been there's been a lot of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
Job changes, moving to a new state, friends and family, and that my personal, there's so
Mm-hmm.
much going on that it's so easy for me to be like, I am not doing any of it at all.
Oh.
And there were times where I even told Tina, like, I can't, like, I can't. And Tina's been very respectful and helpful and like been there for me the whole entire time, but also like on the flip end, so encouraging. Like, it's okay, you got this. I texted Tina the other day that I just did a video. Like, I recorded it, I edited it, like, I did it. And her first response back to me is, I'm so proud of you, because she knows on the other end of it, like, how hard that actually was. So, like, if you are, it doesn't even matter if you're doing content creating or whatever, if you're going through a tough time, have somebody that you can talk to or be there for you. So that way you don't feel alone, because you're not. You are never alone. And if you don't have anybody, the good Lord Jesus, he's always there.
Yeah.
Like seriously, I have come to like the conclusion that like no matter how isolated I want to make myself feel, I am never alone. There's so many people, as long as I like choose to allow them to be there for me. And Tina, you have definitely helped me so much.
I think we needed this conversation today. I've just been struggling this week with like, I've been very open. I struggle with anxiety. I'm not saying like I have crippling anxiety. I don't, but I do struggle with anxiety. I do struggle with feelings of not being good enough. And, I can go into a whole backstory for that. I'm not going to now. Putting yourself out there into the business world with those feelings is very difficult. Putting yourself out there also on the internet is like a whole other story. And nobody has said anything negative to me.
Yeah.
Nobody. Every time though I go to edit a video, I sit there and I think, man, Niki is so pretty.
Stop.
I am so not pretty. I look at everything on myself. I'm just saying, like, in general, if we're having a very serious open conversation, from my perspective, that's something that I struggle with. And it's not that I begrudge Niki at all of that side of it. But I look at it and I think, Tina, a lot of people don't know this. I had to have a full-blown surgery a couple years ago. And that surgery completely changed my life and how my body works.
Yeah.
And it has caused me to gain so much weight. And when you're on a video constantly, it's like you can't get away from it. I pulled up a video from us from last year around this time, and I was like, oh my goodness. And it's one of those things. It's like you can hide from it. You can pretend it's not happening. You can do whatever, or you can just like face it head on. And I will say I have thankfully been able to get over myself in that. And I just have to say, it's just the stage that I'm in right now. It truly is just a stage that has taken a lot of work on the back end for myself, mentally, spiritually, to be able to come to the point and say, just because you're not confident and you're embarrassed about your looks right now doesn't mean that you can't do the work that has been put before you. And so I will say that has not always been the case for me. And I feel like I'm in a really good place and mentally, spiritually in that regard right now. So that's something, but that is a struggle, to go and look at these physical features that you may have, or, the speech that you struggle with. And I have a little, like, I have a lisp and I have all these things. And I think, oh my goodness, why would somebody want to listen to me? I have like this vocal fry that I need to work out. Why didn't I take more speech classes and, whatever. But it's like everybody has these insecurities that nobody else is probably as critical of you unless they're just not a nice person. And in that case, you're not going to want to take their opinion anyway, which is easier said than done. But like all in all, I think we can all just do the best that we can and then, make a difference for the next person. So I am proud of you, Niki. And, this week has been one of those weeks for myself where I just think like, man, I just don't know that I'm making a difference for anybody. And so you saying that was very helpful for me. Thank you.